What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Lavon Cason, back at it again with another video. And today, I'm going to be discussing, and this is what probably everybody is wondering pretty much at this point, is the Xbox Series S a next generation console, or is it a last generation console, or is it kind of like in between, like in the middle, like better than last gen, but not as good as the real next generation consoles? Because what made me want to discuss this is because a lot of people, a lot of developers out there are complaining about the RAM, the memory situation is a big issue on the S. The much lower amount of memory and the split memory banks with drastically lower speeds will be a major issue. Aggressively lowering the rendering resolutions will marginally help, but will not completely counteract the deficiencies. And you see other developers out there that are complaining about the Xbox Series S RAM and how it is slower and stuff like that, because as you can see here, you see this right here, 8 gigabytes, 224 gigabytes per second, and 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is, 56 gigabytes per second, while the Series X has 10 gigabytes, but it's 560 gigabytes per second, and 6 gigabytes, 336 gigs per second. Now, honestly, I think that they should have had 2 more gigabytes of RAM, meaning like 12 gigabytes of RAM, and have, the speed of, hold up, let's bring it up right here. Have the speed of memory of, say, 326 gigs per second. We might have been onto something. This might have not been an issue. But you see, with the developers saying that are having issues with the memory, that this could be an issue and stuff like that, it makes people wonder, is the Series S a true next generation console? Now, let's look at the tech specs again. Now, as you can see here, it is using an AMD Zen 2 CPU. It is. It is using an RDNA 2 GPU. But this right here is what developers are having a problem with. Because when you really think about it, it's only a little bit better than the PS4 Pro. And also, it's using an SSD. So, the Series S has a better CPU, and it has an SSD. While the One X, still has, a hard drive. It's still using those 8 Jaguar cores. So, but the One X does have a little bit more memory. Granted, it's at GDDR5. While the Series S has 10 gigabytes, but it is at, pretty much GDDR6 of RAM. Now, people are probably wondering at this point, Lavon, what is the Series S? Is it last generation? Is it next generation? Or is it in the middle ground? To me, it seems like the Series S is right here, in the middle ground. It's better than last gen, but not as good as, say, the PS5 or the Xbox Series X. So meaning, these first couple years, it'll probably do fine. It'll probably do fine. You won't notice it, struggling. But when 2023 hits, that's going to be the real question. Will it be able to keep up with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5? Because at that point, developers are going to be only making, next generation games, because by then, they will be, pretty much through with the last generation of consoles. This is another reason why a lot of people think that the Xbox Series S, is kind of more last gen than anything else.
6 months ago, 8 gigs for a next gen console is going to be a tight squeeze.
Yeah, it's tight on memory, and that's also kind of brings up, related to all of this, this is an S machine still, right? Which means this is...
You
for
heard
backwards
that? A
compatibility
S
purposes,
machine.
This also means that you'll be playing the Xbox One/S versions of content, right? And I think this is something that maybe hadn't been considered by some folks, where if you're playing an Xbox One game, it's not going to be the Xbox One X version of the game. You're not going to get the 360 4K resolution backwards compatibility, things like that.
I'm not sure that's been officially confirmed, but, you know, basically...
See, that is speculation. That's what it pretty much is. That was speculation. But the fact that they were saying that makes people wonder, is the Xbox Series S a next generation console? Well, yes, like I said, it is speculation. It is. But when you heard them say that, a lot of people are thinking at this point, is it really a next generation console? But, man, it's going to be interesting how the Series S holds up. And I'm still going to guess Xbox Series S. Don't get me wrong, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to get the Xbox Series S. I'm still going to get that PS5 greatness. But I'm just being a realist. Yes, I was hyped about the price point, you know, being $299 and stuff like that, you know. But now I'm back into reality mode, and really, you know, it is nice that the Series S is $299, but, you know, people are kind of wondering at this point, you know, is it even worth getting a Series S? You know, there's going to be a lot of people out there that just might stick with the PS5 because of the specs themselves, as you can see here again. Because of stuff like this, you know, it's a little bit faster than, say, the PS4 Pro. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the Series S compares to last generation. See, that is going to be the real question. How does it compare to last generation? Not the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, but last generation. That is going to be the real question right there. How would it compare to, say, the Xbox One X? How would it compare to, say, the PS4 Pro? That is going to be the real question right there. And I'm very interested to see how it compares to those consoles. Because people are still wondering whether or not if it even is a real next-gen console. Now, I think it's better than last generation, yes, but at this point, we might as well wait and see until Digital Foundry makes their comparisons and stuff like that. We might as well just wait and see, honestly, because, yes, you know, people were wondering, you know, at this point, you know, yes, the Series S is $299, you know, it seems impressive specs, you know, as Microsoft highlight, you know, oh, look, we saw Gears 5 running at 120 frames per second, you know, that was nice, but people are thinking the long term, you know, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, how will the Series S keep up? That is what people are thinking about at this point in this side of the gaming community. That's what they're pretty much thinking about at this point. How long have I been doing this video? How long? Oh, 8 minutes? I got a little bit more. I can make it a little bit more. But this Series S is going to be an interesting console. And I also heard people saying that there will be another Xbox model, which is called Xbox Series V. It's supposed to be, you know, more powerful than the Series S. But not as powerful as the Series X. So maybe like, what, 8, 9 teraflops or something like that. You know, to me, it could be a streaming box, or it could be a digital Xbox Series X. It could be one of those. It could be a digital Xbox Series X. So, yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see how the Xbox Series S holds up. It's going to be very, very interesting. Because that's the console that I'm most curious about. Let's see how it holds up. You know, sorry about the burp, guys. I just burped there a little bit. But, sorry. But anyways, you know, it's kind of reminding me, you know, the Series S. It's kind of reminding me of the Wii U. You know, it was better than last gen. It had more RAM, you know, GPU's better. But there was a bottleneck. It was the CPU. And this is kind of the same case here with the Series S. You know, it does have a better CPU. It does have, you know, GDR6 memory. It does have that SSD. But when it comes to the RAM, though, the RAM itself, right here, yeah, developers are thinking, yeah, this is a bottleneck. This is going to be a bottleneck. Nothing more, nothing less. So, that is what the Series S reminds me of. It reminds me of the Wii U. That is what it pretty much reminds me of. And, yeah. You know, it is nice that Microsoft is offering a budget option. It is nice. But, if they have just, you know, upgrade the RAM to 12 gigabytes of RAM and have a little bit more memory bandwidth, then this, you know, this whole situation to where developers are complaining and all this other stuff, you know, this might not be an issue. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe this won't be an issue. Maybe it won't. But, again, we'll just have to wait and see for those Digital Foundry comparisons between, you know, last generation and the last generation enhanced consoles, the Xbox Series S, and the real, you know, next-gen consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. You know, it's going to be fun seeing those comparisons. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's going to be very, very interesting. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I've been rambling long enough. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, hold on just a minute. Hold on. Let me bring it up right here. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Lavon1874. It's at Lavon1874. If you want to get my thoughts on, you know, certain things, if you want to get a notification of when the next Lavon Cason video comes out, then follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter right here. And also, too, I do make polls as well, such as, you know, certain gaming stuff like this. Are any of you guys in the gaming community, and this is just, you know, people that are watching on YouTube, are any of you guys are still getting an Xbox Series S? And there is a lot of people saying, you know what, I'm just going to stick with that PS5 for now. You know, that is probably the only platform that I'm going to be getting. It's just that PS5. Nothing more, nothing less. But, yeah, follow me on Twitter, at Lavon1874. The Lavon is all, you know, uppercase, so all capitals, you know, capital L, capital A, capital V, capital O, capital N, you know, 1874. So follow me on Twitter. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace.